It's Obama. Hey, let me tell these people about who we got helping. Obama's going to have to just stay there. Obama, watch out for those bulls.
Yes, trying not to be emotional here because this is so devastatingly terrible, horrible and disgusting. At a rodeo in Missouri, the rodeo clown, you know, part of what happens, the clown had a Barack Obama mask. There he is. Look at that. Why did we fight the Second World War if things like this are allowed to happen? It's a mask. It's a clown. Big deal. But now there's going to be enforced sensitivity training for people involved at the rodeo, and the guy in charge, the manager, has been forced to resign. Overreaction? Ha! Steve Crowder joins us, of course. Steve, I understand the presidency occupies a different place in American society than would a prime minister here, but it's a mask and a clown. Big deal.
Right. Well, firstly, I think you're the only person I've ever heard pronounce it rodeo. Rodeo, as far as Americans are concerned, is a street in Beverly Hills. These are rodeos, Michael. But it's a cultural thing, and they're ridiculous. They are wildly offensive events. If you're going to have sensitivity training at a rodeo, you're going to start needing to have sensitivity training for the bearded lady and the circling midgets at the local circus. This is an insensitive event. It's a bunch of cowboys who are half drunk riding bulls with people cheering. I mean, it's not the epitome of a cultured audience. The sensitivity training, there's actually a quote right now that comes to mind. And please, let me clarify, I'm not comparing Barack Obama to the devil, but C.S. Lewis said the devil above all else cannot stand being mocked. And that's really what it is with the liberal media establishment and their golden boy, Barack Obama. They cannot stand him being mocked. They're okay with Tea Partiers hosting protests. They're okay with politicians, stalling legislation. They're okay with that kind of opposition. But comedy, insight, wit, they believe that's their territory. Not saying this is clever or insightful or witty, but anytime you start mocking this president, that's when they get very defensive, and that's when they start using political correctness as an actual weapon in their political realm, where they tell you what you can and cannot do, what you can and cannot.
You are absolutely right, and of course, there is an obvious and evident double standard here.
Right.
The way George Bush was condemned and mocked and so on. We've got a clip here. I think it's Erin Burnett, I think, who also enjoys the rodeo. Let's have a look at what she had to say about a recent president.
There he is. I mean, who could not have a man crush on that man? I'm not talking about the monkey either. I'm talking about the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
What? The monkey? Who's the monkey?
What's she talking about?
Wait.
Monkey in the middle. All right.
I don't know. What's she talking about, Willie? I think she's still jet lagged.
That's my president. I don't know who she's talking about.
Well, I know she's not talking about
Why are you talking
him.
about Angela Merkel like that? I don't understand. All right.
It's like listening to Oscar Wilde having a debate with a friend. The idiots, of course, and we know. And I think we've got a quote ball from Bill Maher as well, who is not an idiot. No, it's not Bill Maher. It is Bill Maher. Yeah. I mean, he's offensive by nature, not a fool. And I will say, in his defence, he has attacked all sides to a certain degree, at least more than others. But it's quite obvious that things were said about George Bush. But is there a context, Steve? Is there a context that rodeos are overwhelmingly white? It's sort of it's a cowboy thing. Some might even say there's a bit of the redneck about it. So when you have a man in a black president face mask, people are going to say, "Oh, that's different."
Yeah, well, I'm not quite clear necessarily on the rules of blackface, I guess, because it's okay for Fred Armisen, a white gentleman on Saturday Night Live, to have played Barack Obama for years, but it's more offensive for a man to put on a Barack Obama mask.
Yep.
Was it a funny gag? No. Was it clever? No. Was it stupid? Yes. Should it be offensive in national news and be basically grounds for sending someone to sensitivity training, which is a joke as it is? No, of course not. And I didn't know about the Erin Burnett, the monkey comment there, and of course I can't see exactly what it is. But listen, I would receive forwards nearly every day from my liberal Montreal friends with actual side-by-side pictures of George Bush and a chimpanzee. So I don't exactly understand the rules, but the rules are, when you really get down to it, you have to look at the history of political correctness and its design as an actual political weapon used to create censorship. That's what this is really about.
Exactly. Very briefly, last minute or so, Matt Damon, who I really do rather like. I think he's been a pretty good guy. But when he does become political, it all goes terribly wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't even like Matt Damon. I don't think he's a very good guy. I think he's a pompous guy, the personal pot shots he'd taken at Palin, and especially when he started talking about public schools and sending his kids to private schools. There's this famous interview where he told someone, you can't have an opinion as a man on female teachers because we're in an intrinsically patriarchal society. It's one of those things where, he just had that phrase in his back pocket he wanted to pull out to sound like he was smart so he could lead the conversation to letting you know that he went to Harvard. He's that kind of guy. But he does all of these films. You look at these films, Green Zone, you look at this film Elysium, they're films with deeply socialist undertones. Mm-hmm. And I can say socialist because I'm from a socialist province. I don't use it as a secret code word. It's just a part of the everyday political vernacular in Quebec. And then the problem is when Matt Damon lies about a film like Elysium, when he says, no, there's no political message. You're insulting the intelligence of your audience while trying to sell them a crappy movie. And that's really a huge problem in Hollywood right now. And that's a big reason why you're seeing box office films flop, huge, big-budget films flop at the box office, and you're seeing crappy reality television absolutely flourish. And it's not even that people necessarily love reality television, but a lot of Americans are just tired of being bombarded with political propaganda and being told that it's not.
All right. Well, even though you're completely right, I still rather like Matt Damon. We went to the rodeo together. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Michael.